Think about how many different types of animals there are in the world. There's a lot, isn't there? Well, approximately 37.8% of over 44,000 animals are in danger because of poaching. To most of us, especially young adults, this isn't a topic that is very high on our list of things that we care about, but hopefully after today, your eyes are open and you have learned something new. Over the last few weeks, I've done an extensive amount of research on what poaching is and the effects. Many believe that poaching is a hobby or a way to make money, but in actuality, it is much more harmful than one might think. Throughout this speech, we will discuss what poaching is, how it affects animals, and what is being done to stop it. Before we dive into the effects of poaching, we must start by learning what poaching is. Poaching, by definition, is to illegally hunt or catch game on land that is not one's own or is in contravention of official protection. According to Doris Lynn, in the article titled, "What is Poaching?" she states that poaching is a deadly crime against wildlife and is in violation of all local, state, and federal laws, which shows that no matter what, poaching is never okay. To be considered a poacher, the qualifications include killing an animal out of season, without a license, using an illegal weapon, killing a protected species, or killing while trespassing. Another activity that would make someone a poacher is the manner in which the animal is killed. Some of these manners include using a snare wire, trap nets, and pitfalls. A snare wire is a cable wire that is tied onto trees and put in such a position that it will wrap around the animal's neck and strangle it to death. A trap net is a net that is spread across an area, and poachers and hunting dogs chase the animal into the net where they will spear it to death. And last but not least is a pitfall. Pitfalls are usually used for larger animals such as elephants and rhinos, but what a pitfall is a huge pit dug into the ground, disguised with grass, and then the animals are chased into them like trap nets. Now that you've learned some of the poaching methods, let's discuss how it affects the animals. Poaching is causing certain animals to become endangered and even extinct. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, in their article titled "Extinction Crisis Continues Apace," written in 2009, 17,291 species out of 47,677 are on the red list of threatened species are in serious danger. Approximately 36% of animals on the red list are extremely close to extinction, and to break it down even further, 21% of those threatened animals are mammals, 30% are amphibians, 12% are birds, 28% are reptiles, and 35% are invertebrates. Now that we've talked about the percentages of endangered animals, let's learn some of the more specific endangered species. Elephants are extremely wanted for their ivory tusks. Tigers are wanted for their medicinal bones and fur, and blue whales are extremely high in value for their blubber and oil. But an animal whose death toll is rapidly increasing is the white rhino. In Carol Williams' 2014 Los Angeles Times article titled "Rhinos Poached in South Africa in 2013, Worst Year on Record," she said that poachers killed more than 1,000 rhinos, making it the worst year since the government began tracking the illegal hunting in the early 1900s. These shocking statistics show that with only approximately 20,000 rhinos left in the world, they will be completely extinct in 20 years. Finally, we will take a look at the efforts being done to end poaching. Elephant, tiger, and rhino populations are being decimated across Africa, but fortunately, there have been a bunch of anti-poaching funds implemented to help stop and catch these poachers. One of the main groups against poaching is the International Rhino Foundation. They have 10 major ways they are involved with the help to end poaching. According to their website, Operation Stop Poaching Now, written in 2014, one of the ways they are contributing is called Boots on the Ground. With Boots on the Ground, they help to train and equip rangers in hot poaching areas. Another way they are helping is by making sure that all their field staff is educated and trained to conduct proper crime scene investigations. Back to what Carol Williams said in her LA Times article, in its quest to protect rhinos from poachers, the South African government has signed agreements with China and Vietnam to better coordinate their tracking and enforcement efforts. Apparently these agreements have worked because the detention of poachers was up with 343 poachers and traffickers arrested instead of the 267 from the previous year. In conclusion, there are many reasons why poaching should be considered more than just a hobby. As you have just learned, poaching is a deadly crime against wildlife. Too many species are becoming endangered or extinct, and there have been many organizations made to help end poaching. Like I said before, poaching has a lot of negative effects, more than one might think, and that is why people should be educated to know what poaching is really about. I encourage you all to appreciate the beauty of our animals and to donate to an anti-poaching fund, such as the International Rhino Foundation. And for my visual aids, I used, I don't know if they can see, I used this first one, which is a snare, so you can see that that is where the animal gets trapped in, and then the tighter, the harder they fight to get out, the tighter it goes until it strangles them. And this next one is a picture of a rhino whose horns have just been cut off and that is left there to die.